Hey, good evening. Julio Lopez here with an update on my part of the project and my progress. I'm in charge of the database creation. Last time I had created the database on the local machine. Um, should have the connection here. Hold on. Yeah, my local machine, which it was right here, but since then we moved to AWS, and that way we can have a database running, and everybody can access to it and publicly can access to it. Uh, I went and created it, and as you can tell right here, I created the same tables, events, person, resource, and venue. And the database name is Black Lion 2. Um, I run some queries here. And just to check it out, the context of the tables, where the primary keys are, and all of that. And the team was satisfied uh, with uh, with the result. Um, I created it on AWS, like I said before, and using RDS. So you can tell right here it's available, and there's going to be 4 connections, so it's running and using my SQL environment. Uh, in the beginning, I have some problems. I had to change the security parameters, which the inbound I think was restricted, and I had to change it to be publicly available. That way, everybody had access to it. But as you can tell right here, it's using already some resources from AWS, like the CPU, so it's running with no problem. And I was able to utilize uh, the database using Visual Studio from here. I also, besides that, went to the repo and added some files, some a Jupyter notebook notes, where I showed the team or whoever wanna connect to the database to make it easy for them with their credentials, which is right here. This is a link instead of local host like it was before, and with the credentials right here, password and the Black Lion 2 database. I named it Black Lion 2 because the first one that I created have a lot of settings problems, so it was easier for me to just delete that database and create a brand new one from scratch with no issues. Uh, also, I run a query here to describe the tables. It run with no problems. You can see also here if you go to the GitHub directly, to the GitHub repository, you can go to the file and components, Python queries, and you can see the file right here. I love Jupyter Notebook because you can keep track of all your work too. I'm gonna keep adding stuff on there, or all the stuff that I do too, and directions um, and updates for the whole team to see and get access to the end user on the favor. So the next step is gonna be to utilize the database and create connectors inbound and outbound for the login credential for the website. And to start using the database with a good progress was that we already uh, launched the page or deployed from GitHub Pages, which it created a link already. And it's good because now every time we update the code or make any changes, push any changes, we can it's going to be automatically updated on the website using GitHub Pages. Another another task that I did was like I created a fork. You see right here, you have another branch which I created right here. You see fork from the main repository. What this allow me to do is like to do all my changes on my end, and once I'm satisfied with the results, I can just push it into the main branch and Jonathan, which is the one in charge of the main branch, he can just review and push it through and accept it to merge um, the proposal with the main branch, which comes really handy for the purpose of the project. Um, yeah, and that's about it. Also, another tool that I started using is the GitHub desktop, which is really awesome. I can see all my repo right here and launch directly, cloning, and just from here open it directly to Visual Studio Code, or I can see the location of the project, or even view it on GitHub. Let's say if I click on GitHub, it brings me directly to the repository here. So it can really is a tool that I recommend to everybody. I hope everybody uses it, because in that way it makes everything a little bit easier. And it comes really handy though. But that's about it. That's my update. Hopefully next week we are already going to have the connectors running, the login credentials using JavaScript files on the project, and that's the next step. Hopefully it's going to be running next time. So thank you for your time, and if anything, just shoot me an email or write to here on the comments if you're on YouTube, or any recommendation. Just go to the repository. If and you can also send those messages through it. All right. Thank you for your time. Have a good night.